The code that I have written requires that I listen to everything that any person says on the race issue, white and non-white, because that's a person's viewpoint. And I want to hear their viewpoint. I already know mine. But anything that a person is thinking, they'll be apt to act on what they're thinking, or at least say what they're thinking, or they should say what they're thinking if we're going to have honesty in this dialogue. So I am duty-bound just to listen to what another victim of racism says, presumably he comes under that category, about race, racism, or counter-racism. I've written that in my book. Anything that any victim of racism says, they have what you call VGQ, Victims Guaranteed Qualification, which means you can talk about your victimization in any way that you want to. As a victim, you have earned that. And so if you're a non-white person, you come under VGQ, Victims Guaranteed Qualification. You're qualified to say anything about race, racism, or counter-racism, meaning your recommendations for how to get rid of racism that you wish to say. You have earned that by being a victim. If you can't do that, then you have nothing. So I just listen to what was being said, and then I say, well, I'm required to say these words. He said what he said. Take into consideration what he said, each individual, and then think about what he said, what the value is of it, not so much who said it, but whether or not it should have been said by anybody, and whether or not the recommendation is something that should be followed by anybody, because there was a recommendation made.